Standing among the high-profile opinions a ruling on President Trump's executive order to eliminate birthright citizenship. The High Court is also still considering a pair of cases from Idaho and West Virginia over transgender students participating in female athletics. And ahead of the midterm elections, a case over campaign finance is unresolved, as well as a Mississippi case about counting late arriving mail-in ballots. In Washington, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Luigi Mangione returns to court today in New York City for a hearing in the federal case in the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in 2024.
After his defense team pushed back on a report claiming a potential plea deal for his trial fell apart. His lawyer writing, quote, "This information attributed to anonymous sources is part of a troubling, deliberate pattern by prosecutors and law enforcement to prejudice Luigi."
That's Fox's Carly Shimkus. Mangione faces trial on state charges first in September. On Wall Street, stock futures are rising ahead of this week's trading. At soccer's World Cup, the group stage wrapped up Saturday.
The round of 32 then got started on Sunday with South Africa taking on Canada, the first time that either country had ever played a knockout round game. Maybe fittingly, they went into stoppage time scoreless, looking like we would need extra time. Instead, Stefan Eustáquio found the back of the net in the 92nd minute as Canada becomes the first country to advance to the round of 16. Greg Thompson, Fox News.
3 more matches today. The U.S. plays Wednesday. The famous Wimbledon tennis tournament started this morning in England. The defending men's champion and top seed Jannik Sinner plays this hour. The top-ranked woman, Aryna Sabalenka, plays her first match later this morning. In golf, a playoff at the tournament in Hartford starts next hour. Scotty Scheffler versus Viktor Hovland. They were tied after the final round yesterday, but it got too dark to continue. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
News Talk 10 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
Happy Monday. It is now June 29th, 2026, and you are in tune with News Talk 710 KURV, the Valley's Morning News. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz. Jason Caterina from AccuWeather going to serve up the heat for about 3 days. Triple-digit plus. We got a heat alert for the next 3 days here in South Texas. And then he put into the forecast a better chance of a thunder shower by Thursday and Friday. So by how much was it coming from? We'll speak with Jason in about 3 minutes. Thanks for waking up with News Talk 710 KURV. In the continued fight against the New World screwworm, state ag officials are continuing to urge hunters and ranchers and vets and pet owners to routinely inspect animals for open wounds and unusual signs of infestation. That's because there's a new case, New World screwworm, has been reported, and unfortunately for us, it's much closer to the valley now. It's in Jim Hogg County. An election integrity measure by the White House has been blocked by a federal court, saying the president overstepped his authority. Texas and several other states are supporting the White House policy, which would require mail carriers to screen mail-in ballots against a federal database and return any from voters not found on that database. The White House saying that they will appeal that decision by a lower court. The federal government is presenting more border wall plans for Texas.
The head of Homeland Security confirming that some fencing will be going through Big Bend National Park despite bipartisan objections. Secretary Markwayne Mullin says there will be about 2 miles of physical barriers.
The rest of it will be smart fence, so there won't be a constant barrier across there.
And he said it will be extended at the Texas border with New Mexico, but there will be a gate at Mount Cristo Rey. The mountain is home to a 29-foot tall statue of Christ and a shrine that's a holy site to Catholics on both sides of the border. Michael Board, News Talk 710 KURV.
The Texas State Board of Education officially passed a revised reading list that includes some Bible passages. Opponents of this measure saying it's an infringement on the separation of church and state.
951, the motion carries.
And with that, Bible stories like Noah's Ark and David and Goliath will be mandatory reading for Texas elementary school kids, while the book of Job, Genesis, and Exodus are required for the older kids. Also up for a vote, the first change in social studies standards in 16 years. They would also include the addition of Bible passages. Those in support argue the Bible is a cornerstone of Western civilization. In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
And across the state of Texas, folks from Venezuela or folks who have family in Venezuela are continuing to collect supplies and continuing to send money to victims of those massive earthquakes in Caracas midweek last week. The quakes caused widespread damage. Of course, you've seen it on social media and all these folks. And the rescues are amazing, the rescues that are taking place. Hundreds dead, and right now, thousands of folks still missing. At 7:09, it is AccuWeather the time, and we want to say thank you to Dougie and all the gang over at Martin Farm and Ranch. Grow them right with Martin Farm and Ranch and Purina Certified Feed. AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina presenting a heat alert for the area. Well, we got the frying bacon that we should be playing, right? 103 today, 101 tomorrow, 102 Wednesday. But then you include the word thunderstorm by Thursday, Friday.
Yeah,
so what's the plan?
Maybe 20% chance. Like the ridge that's suppressing everything's just going to break down, and we'll have a chance for some of those sea breeze showers and storms Thursday and Friday. So, it's hit or miss at best, and really not a great chance to begin with. So
sure, and which means if that's only Thursday, Friday, then back to the triple-digit heat Saturday, 4th of July, and then the fireworks should be okay at night.
Looks like it's so far, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Texas travel, anything interesting to report? Some folks might be leaving town for the weekend. So what's the plan for them?
It doesn't look too bad across the area as far as any kind of travel is concerned. It's just going to be, quite hot this week, and not really seeing anything in the way of storms for Dallas or Houston until maybe Friday or Saturday during the afternoon. So otherwise just quiet and hot.
And tropical coverage 2026 updates, Caribbean, Gulf, Atlantic, anything
Nothing of important for us. Still watching some possible tropical development off the southeast coast by the Carolinas here. Later this week, the 1st and 2nd, there could be some possible development there, but all is quiet elsewhere concerning us.
Well, there you go. The Yankee with the forecast. Again, thank you to Dougie and all the gang over at Martin Farm and Ranch. We got a heat alert for the area, 103 today and above 100 tomorrow.
It's going to be hotter here Thursday than it's going to be there. Upstate New York.
Oh, I see.
We've only hit 100 degrees 15 times since the 1800s.
Yeah.
We're scheduled for 103 Thursday.
Oh, wow.
Listen, we haven't hit 100 since 1953 either. So,
my goodness.
Just don't go outside.
Yeah.
I bought a giant air conditioner this week to cool the rest of the house. I have one in my bedroom that we have rigged up from last year, but we didn't have one for the whole house. So we got a big 18,000 BTU one and cranked it up yesterday just to try it. It cooled the whole house down 4 degrees in a matter of a couple of hours. So that was
nice. Yeah. You'll be filling up the bathtub with ice on Thursday. And take a nice
got the sprinkler in the backyard.
Yeah, you're ready to go, man. Wow, let's see what's on the menu for today. Let's see. Oh, it's a hug holiday, so we send you a hug, buddy. It's a hug, and we celebrate mud today.
Mud
with a sprinkler. Yeah, you'll have plenty of mud by Thursday going outside. All right, pal. I'll let you loose. We'll call you next hour. That's AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina on 710 KURV. There is a last-ditch effort in Congress to pass some election year related legislation.
President Trump is refusing to sign a landmark housing affordability bill until lawmakers pass the Save America Act. Texas Congressman Chip Roy, who authored the bill, says that only Americans should vote in American elections.
The Constitution is clear that we have authority to address this matter.
The SAVE Act requires documentary proof of citizenship in order to register to vote. A driver's license would not be enough. Registration would require a passport, birth certificate, or citizenship certificate. Opponents call that a poll tax. The bill would also prohibit universal mail voting. Michael Board, News Talk 710 KURV.
Time is 7:13 on the Valley's Morning News. Hey, stick around, because in about 3 minutes or so, we'll hear from our friend Judd Flowers. He's one of the citrus growers in the area. Yeah, this first round, I guess if I could call it first round of harvest in Texas citrus season, we're done with that. How'd it go? What's the trend this year as far as business? Yeah, I miss those Valley oranges over at H.E. Butt. But it's okay, because come August, we'll see another round of some of these Valley oranges. Time is 7:13 on the Valley's Morning News. Texas leaders are taking a closer look at the fast-growing data center industry in the state of Texas, and we got hundreds of more projects on the way.
Here's what you need to know. The facilities power everything from cloud storage to AI tools, but they use massive amounts of electricity and water for cooling. The Texas Tribune reports that Texas now has at least 248 more data centers planned, with clusters in North and West and Central Texas. Developers cite the cheap land and fewer regulations in the state.
It's 7:14 on the Valley's Morning News. A brain implant developed in our country has allowed an individual with ALS to continue to communicate with friends and family.
47-year-old Casey Harrell, who suffers from severe paralysis and speech impairment, is now also able to browse the internet and work from home. The experimental brain-computer interface, or BCI, works by translating brain signals into text while also allowing users to control a computer cursor. It was developed by researchers at UC Davis in conjunction with Brown University and Mass General Brigham Neuroscience Institute. KTLA reports the findings published in Nature Medicine show the BCI could lead to greater independence for people with paralysis and other severe neurological conditions that limit speech and movement. I'm Sharon Reardon.
And this is the week. This weekend will be July 4th, which, by the way, tune into KURV on Saturday night. Let's say you're in McAllen. A Saturday night, 9 p.m., Lord willing, we'll have the music here on KURV. Other stations, maybe a sister station might be providing music as well. I'm not sure. It usually happens year to year, or maybe a competitor. But either way, KURV, 9 p.m., we'll take a pause from the Astros game, right, Freddie? Yeah. We'll have to press the pause button on the Astros game. No, not a pause.
Like, you can't pause the game, and it will continue.
We're not broadcasting, but we'll return to the game after the music.
Yeah, we'll join the game back in progress.
Right. Well, that's the plan. Saturday night, July 4th, Saturday night at 9 p.m., Freddie will flip the switch, and we'll play the music that City Hall, McAllen, they provided us a list of music they want to play for the fireworks show this coming Saturday night. 7:15, this is the Valley's Morning News. I'm going to call it round one of the Valley Citrus Harvest. You know, the Valley Oranges that you found at H.E. Butt. Where do they go? Where's the Valley Oranges? Well, round two is coming up. What's the trend in the industry so far? And replanting some of those Valley citrus trees we lost in freezes some years back. That's next on 710 KURV. A local citrus grower, our friend Judd Flowers, next on the Valley's Morning News.
Progressive Insurance. Progressive can protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, RV, and more. In short, a lot of things. Bundle today at progressive.com.
Come into Volvo Cars Edinburgh today and find the Volvo that's right for you. Shop from a great selection of Volvos today. Get comfortable in the incredible new 2026 Volvo XC60 with all the technology and innovation that makes the Volvo brand stand out from the rest. Lease one today for just $499 a month. That's right, $499 a month. We shop the competition so you don't have to. Elevate your drive today at Volvo Cars Edinburgh, a Bert Ogden Auto Group dealership. Dale gas!
At an intersection, or making a left turn, in your blind spot, right next to you. Motorcycles don't just come out of nowhere, and there is usually one somewhere. How do you see something that's not always easy to see? You look twice. At an intersection, making a left turn, in your blind spot, right next to you. Look twice for motorcycles. There's a life riding on it. A message from TxDOT.
This is Michael Berry, host of The Michael Berry Show, weeknights starting at 6. Thank you, Rio Grande Valley, for listening to News Talk 710 KURV.
News Talk 710 KURV is your station for Houston Astros play-by-play. Up next, the Twinkies. So the Astros, they're back home for this weekend, 4th of July weekend. Astros hosting Minnesota, 6:40 broadcast tonight on 710 KURV. Big thank you to Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women. We're going to take inventory of the South Texas citrus industry now that I guess this portion of the growing season, this season is now done. And I know that because I made several trips to H.E. Butt, and I noticed, hey, my Texas oranges, my Valley oranges aren't here. It's like, what's going on? So at like the third or fourth time when I noticed they weren't there anymore, I asked one of the guys that helped put all the fruits and veggies out there. Oh yeah, the season's over. Gee whiz, I knew it. Season's over. So Judd Flowers is founder, owner, CEO, chief bottle washer, as he says. Janitor is everything else. Lone Star Citrus Growers. And the season's over for now, you said, right? We got some more oranges on the way.
They're on the way.
Okay. So when do they hit the market again?
Typically, we'll start in early October.
Okay.
For oranges, and grapefruit a week or so after that.
So how'd the season do this go around? Did you make some gains, more money compared to last year? Like, what's going on?
Well, the industry, as you probably realize, is still recovering from the freeze of 21.
Yeah.
So this was the first year that those trees that had been planted subsequent to the freeze started bearing an important load of fruit. So its production is on the way up.
How many years does it take for a young tree to eventually start popping out some fruit?
Well, first of all, you have to make the tree, and that's something like 17 to 22 months to make a tree that's large enough to put into a growth setting and survive well. So if you count that as like 2 years, and then another 36 months in the field, so it takes 5 years for the first fruits, you might say. So it's a business of patience.
Yeah, and you. I was going to say seeding, but you do the seeding, also the replanting.
The seeding actually happens inside the greenhouse.
You got that operation too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They got some greenhouses out there putting little seeds in there.
Well, you start off with a little cup, a single seed in a single cell, we call them, in a tray, and then they grow for about 6 or 7 months till they reach the size of just smaller than a pencil, and then they can be grafted. And after they're grafted to the variety that you expect to produce, it takes another 7 or 8 months to get it to where it's ready to put in the field.
The Valencia oranges, right?
Well,
actually,
the orange crop is made out of 3 principal varieties. And the early orange category starts in October.
Okay.
And then we transition to what's called a pineapple orange, usually in mid to late January, to transition finally into the third variety, which is Valencia orange.
Okay.
There's still a small portion of navel oranges, which is also early, but they're pretty minor at this point. Mostly it's early oranges, mid-season oranges, and Valencias.
Judd Flowers is founder, CEO, Lone Star Citrus Growers. We're looking at the citrus industry, South Texas. I know if you're like me, you're probably going to miss some Valley oranges for a few months before we start seeing them again in August. Yours is the Rio Star grapefruit.
Yeah, we have a Rio Red variety that's advertised as Rio Star for a trade name. Right?
Yeah. Do you use your own seeds for the oranges, for the grapefruit, like from whatever fruit you produce? You glean seeds from that, or how does that work?
The tree is comprised of 2 components. One is the rootstock, which is the seedling that we produce, and we produce our own seeds, and then we have them prepared for planting by the Citrus Center in Weslaco. And then after that, with the advent of the greening disease that was discovered here in 2012, the industry imposed on itself a requirement that all citrus trees had to be budded from mother trees that came from covered crops at the Citrus Center. And that's ensuring that when you plant a tree, it doesn't have any disease in it at all. So that was an effort to fight the initial step in fighting off the greening disease that has been such a detrimental effect really worldwide, but especially here in the United States in the Florida citrus industry.
I was going to ask you about Florida. I'm trying to remember who it was. We had an interview with several months back, was explaining that, and to put it into perspective, I mean, if you were to add your operation, everybody else, más o menos, how many acres do we have for citrus in the valley right now?
It's probably hovering between 18 and 20,000.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
But, one reason why it hasn't expanded any faster than that is because of the imposition that we put on ourselves that all trees have to be grown inside. And so that requires an additional investment that not everybody was prepared to make.
Yeah.
And so the existing greenhouses at the time are backed up with orders to plant trees.
That'd have been Dante Galeazzi over at the Growers Association. He represents 20,000, más o menos.
More or less.
You know, being generous.
Because it changes every day. You know, last week we planted 80 acres of grove. So
nice.
It's going up and going down. So
we're making a comeback.
We are.
Thank you, Jesus. That's good. That's good to hear. Yeah, but Florida, I think, because we were talking about greening as well. And saying, yeah, sir. I remember the comment was like, they went like from like 800,000 to 700,000 or less than 700,000. They lost a big chunk as far as acreage to greening, to the greening disease.
Yeah.
Is there a cure for that, or you just have to quarantine?
No, there's there's like a Manhattan style project to find a silver bullet that will cure greening, and nobody has it.
Yeah.
There a lot of people have some good ideas, and some of them are making progress, but there's no single cure. The biggest thing that helps valley growers is to control the vector of the disease, which is a little fly called the citrus aphid.
Yeah, and you know, for this city boy and for other folks that are tuning in, doing something else for a living, they don't understand this citrus greening. First, it's like a aesthetic problem, right? It looks weird, and then it kills a tree eventually, right? The citrus green.
Can. Yeah, it can kill the tree. It's the equivalent in a human being would be something like hardening of the arteries because it clogs up the vascular system of the tree. So the best way to fight it is to eliminate a high population of that green citrus aphid, and to control that aphid to a low point, and don't let them pupate in your orchard so they don't spread the disease as quickly. And then when they do have the disease, you have to make additional inputs, more fertilizer, more tender loving care to get them through the disease. But one of the biggest things that most people agree that holds the greening disease back in our area is the heat. Yeah, it gets hotter in the afternoons than in the afternoons here in the valley. You talk about those triple digit figures all the time on your show, and when it gets to be 100 or 105, that the disease doesn't prosper under those conditions.
All right. Well, now we got a reason to root for triple digit temperatures.
It's a funny story, really, because originally when it was discovered in Florida, they would put a tent over individual trees and then steam them to do heat treating. And it would knock all the leaves off of the trees, but it would retard the disease, at least for a portion of time. So they called it heat treating. So when those friends of ours come over here, they realize that we do heat treating every day.
Man,
and that's one reason why we haven't had as much trouble as they have.
Now you're going to hear me and Freddie on the morning show, kill the greening, triple digit temperatures every day on the forecast.
We're killing some greening today.
There we go. Judd Flowers is founder, CEO, Lone Star Citrus Growers. We're looking at the harvest season so far. Family owned, operated, growing harvest, shipping, citrus operation. And we got more fruit coming up at about August or so, right in time for the winter Texans to come over and start picking up.
Well, it won't be August, but late September, early October for sure.
Well, tell me more about now the season. This season was better than last, right? You got more fruit.
There's more fruit, but still not the pre-freeze volume. But the season was good. Typically, my recollection of last season was we had some early spring rains, and that prospered the fruit set. And so we had a good crop going in. And then you're very familiar that it didn't rain till in October. So the crop that we had was starved for water in a lot of places because of the water shortage. A lot of people didn't have the allocation that they would have needed to mature that heavy of a set to be marketable size. So there was a lot of undersized fruit that we ended up taking to the juice plant, unusually large percentage. Typically, we can pack 75% of the fruit, with the other 25% being either too small or blemished. That's not allowed in the pack, and we juice that.
Right.
But this past season, because it didn't rain in the June and July, and the fall rains didn't really catch us till late in October, a lot of that fruit didn't size up. But really, what really saved us for that season, Sergio, was the price. The price has been very good.
Okay.
Because of the lack of production in competing areas.
So in this past cycle, what was the ratio, 50-50, or was it worse than that? Like 50 juice, 50 pack?
Yeah, probably depends on the grove and the grower, and who was in a water-rich district and who was in a water-poor district, and who had the wherewithal to buy contract water or not. And so a lot of people still got a 65% pack out.
Yeah.
But I think by and large, it was probably closer to 50-50.
You were talking about rain this and rain, and I forgot. Yeah. We didn't have allocations from water districts. Not till now. The whole water solution with Mexico Trump administration, is that going to help? We get allocations now, or what?
Well, it does. But the problem with the allocations that we're getting now, typically during whatever normal means, during normal times, we'll have a 2.5 acre foot allocation per year.
Okay.
2.5 acre feet. So the last allocation that we've got in the districts and where we operate start with a decimal and then a 0 and then a little number. So, they're allocating inches at a time or less than an inch.
Well, I hope it's been kind of wet of late compared to this time last year. So I hope that plus maybe whatever allocation maybe helps out.
Well,
the next day.
That we had the miracle of the Easter rain, and it rained everywhere all at the same time on Resurrection Day. And that's actually what it was.
Hallelujah.
And from then till now,
yeah.
It's been spotty rain showers, all over for the next 3 months.
I wish I could keep you for a lot more time. I know you're replanting. You got a lot of acres out there with young trees that are all covered up in plastic, protect them as well.
Yeah, mesh back.
Yeah, so maybe we can talk about that in the next conversation, Lord willing, when we have the next cycle going into the fall. That'd be nice to get. Like, real quick, how many acres you got out there that are all planted with those new trees that are being?
They're about 3,500 acres that we have.
That's really nice. And you and other growers are doing the same. They're also
right.
Excellent. Good to hear that it's making a comeback.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for stopping by, brother.
Yeah, my pleasure. Good to see you again.
Jet Flowers with Lone Star Citrus Growers. You're in tune with the Valley's Morning News. This is News Talk 710 KURV, your station for Astros baseball. They've been doing good of late. They took the series from Los Tigres del Norte, from the Detroit Tigers. 3 out of 4 games, pretty good. And still climbing in the rankings. Sports next on 710 KURV on your station for Astros baseball.
They say that actions speak louder than words, so we'll let the all-new state-of-the-art BMW of FAR show you what that means. Choose from an incredible selection of new BMWs and get exceptional service today. Right now, during the BMW Ultimate Sales Event, you can lease a 2026 BMW X3 xDrive, just $569 a month, with $52.99 due at signing. Come see why BMW has always been known as the ultimate driving machine. Visit the corner of Expressway 281 and Owasso in FAR. Come find your new BMW today at BMW of FAR, a Bird Ogden Auto Group dealership.
Looking for the biggest Independence Day celebration in the Valley? Join the city of McAllen on Saturday, July 4th for the 98th Annual Independence Day celebration presented by HEB to celebrate 250 years of freedom. The day begins with the Independence 4K run at Archer Park, followed by giant 4th of July floats in the Main Street Parade, games, rides, and family fun at the Freedom Festival. Honor our nation with a commemorative dedication rock ceremony and wreath laying, presented by the Daughters of the American Revolution at Archer Park as we celebrate 250 years of freedom. Then gather at Municipal Park at 5 p.m. for a Declaration of Independence reading, live bands featuring Desert Bloom and Vinyl Spin, and the Valley's most spectacular fireworks during Concert in the Sky at 9 p.m. Make memories, celebrate freedom, and experience a 4th of July tradition unlike any other, right here in McAllen, as we commemorate 250 years of freedom. Find full schedule at McAllen Parks or McAllenParks.net.
At an intersection, or making a left turn, in your blind spot, right next to you. Motorcycles don't just come out of nowhere, and there is usually one somewhere. How do you see something that's not always easy to see? You look twice. At an intersection, making a left turn, in your blind spot, right next to you. Look twice for motorcycles. There's a life riding on it. A message from TxDOT.
Your Houston Astros host the Minnesota Twins. Tune in tonight. First pitch at 7:10. Powered by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women and News Talk 710 KURV.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
The Houston Astros won a 10th-inning thriller against the Detroit Tigers yesterday. Final score 7-5. In the 5th, the Tigers tacked on an extra run to go up 3-0. Despite that, the Astros didn't go down easy, with Reynel Delgado hitting his first career home run in the 7th inning to cut the deficit to 1. In the 8th, Isaac Paredes hit a homer of his own to tie the game and eventually force it into extras. Paredes once again came up big, hitting an RBI single to put the Astros up 1 in the top of the 10th. After that, Christian Walker sealed it with a 3-run blast, which was too much for the Tigers to overcome.
2-2. And Walker drives this one deep to left field. And you can kiss it goodbye.
Clips courtesy of Robert Ford and the Astros Radio Network. With a win, the Astros win their road series 2-1. They return home today to open up a series against the Minnesota Twins. The Texas Rangers swept a 4-game series with a win over the Toronto Blue Jays yesterday. Final score 3-2. Jock Peterson started off the scoring with his second leadoff home run of the series. The Rangers wouldn't score again until the top of the 6th inning when Elias Diaz hit an RBI single to put the Rangers up 2-0. Toronto's Nathan Lukes hit a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 8th to tie it. Fortunately for Texas, they managed to score off a wild pitch in the 9th.
First offering here. He hits in the dirt in front of the plate, skips all the way to the Rangers dugout. Kelnick around third. He'll dive across the plate with a go-ahead run.
Clips courtesy of Matt Hicks and the Rangers Radio Network. With the win, the Rangers are not only .500, but they now lead the AL West. With your Texas in the Morning Sports Report, I'm Adam C.
We have a 710 KURV heat alert for the area as the forecast is up to 103 today and above 100 tomorrow. Same thing on Wednesday, 102. The heat alert on 710 KURV, a service of all the gang over at Lee's Pharmacy. Big thank you to Danny Vela, all the family at Lee's Pharmacy. The Border Bridge wait times. So Cameron County's busy. B&M Bridge and the Gateway Bridge closer to an hour and a half at last check. And for the McAllen area, not too bad. We had 15, 20 minutes at the Far Bridge. The other two bridges, 10 minutes or less. This is the Valley's Morning News on Newstalk 710 KURV Business News. And a check of your money next on 710 KURV. If you're looking for a new career, let's say you've had a successful run at what you do, you're just looking for some excitement, maybe increase your networking opportunity, and maybe the size of that paycheck, as after all, you eat what you kill. Right? So that's real estate. You get a chance to maybe make some new friends and increase, as I said, your networking opportunity with Brian Reed. The Ryan and Brian real estate team, always looking for solid professionals, good people, folks who are really good at what they do. See, I'm telling you this because you don't need to be an expert in real estate. You don't need to have your realty license. You just need to call Brian Reed. I'm going to give you a personal number for you to call and tell him you heard me talking about this, because maybe you're thinking about doing the pivot. You've done good for many, many years in what you do. you've been wanting for the longest time to do real estate, and Brian Reed will teach you from step one. He'll teach you the ropes. 956-307-4544. That is the number for my friend Brian Reed. Again, talk with him about what you do, and he can teach you everything that is real estate. 956-307-4544. And if you already are an agent, you're looking to grow your business, you got to talk to Brian Reed as well. 956-307-4544. That's the Ryan and Brian Real Estate Team. More information as well at ryanandbrian.com. Click on the career tab.
If you're selling your home, don't be trying. Call Ryan and Brian. Go to ryanandbrian.com.
Here you go, Dad.
At LSNB, we build strong foundations on values that matter.
And business practices you can rely on.
Investing in education.
Volunteering in the communities we serve.
And fueling our region's economy.
For over 40 years.
Our mission has been supporting area businesses.
We are LSNB.
Donating more money to more causes than all other area banks combined.
Here, in a place we call home. We are LSNB.
The Valley's Bank.
Come into Genesis of Harlingen today and soak up the feeling of the dynamic yet elegant design and cutting-edge technology. Visit today and choose from a great selection like a 2026 Genesis G70. Lease one today for $319 a month for 36 months. Come see where refined sophistication meets powerful innovation at Genesis of Harlingen at 8521 West Expressway 83 in Harlingen. Shop from the entire line of Genesis online at genesisofharlingen.com. Genesis of Harlingen, a Bert Ogden Auto Group dealership.
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care is the place to go. If you feel tired or stressed or less motivated, if you're moody or if you have trouble sleeping, Dr. T's Primary Care will evaluate you and work with you to address your health concerns, including testosterone or menopause treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call in the calendar at 956-803-0058 in Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC, McAllen, Mission.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. Supergirl was no match for Toy Story 5. Supergirl opened with $38 million in domestic ticket sales, coming in second. In first, Toy Story 5, which pulled in another $70 million at the box office after a near-record debut last weekend. Oil prices are higher this morning after renewed military strikes between the U.S. and Iran over the weekend reignited concerns over crude supplies from the Middle East. West Texas Intermediate, which is up by more than 1%, is at roughly $70 a barrel, Brent at $72. Kohl's went from a household name to a plunging stock as it lost relevancy and its core customer. CEO Michael Bender said on CNBC that now the company is trying to turn itself around and return to a position of growth by leaning into the business strategies that originally worked. On Wall Street, investors remain cautious about whether the store will return to its former success. Futures have risen this morning. Dow futures up by more than 200 points. NASDAQ futures up by more than 300 points. That's Your Money Now.
AccuWeather says highs today should be up to 103. That's a 710 KURV heat alert. And 102 tomorrow and 102 Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, small chance of rain. We'll review that as we get closer to that at that point on the calendar. The 4th of July looking dry, says AccuWeather right now. Doesn't seem to be much of a chance of rain on the 4th, which is good. There's an all-day celebration. You'll be hearing plenty of messages about that here on KURV. We got Fox News coming up in 2 minutes on 710 KURV.
It's another season of Houston Astros baseball on News Talk 710 KURV.
First pitch, and he drives it. Good one. It's out of here.
Your Houston Astros are back, and we've got every weeknight and weekend game. All the hits, all the home runs.
Deep to right field, at the wall, looking up.
From pregame to postgame, catch it all season long. Right here, Astros Baseball, powered by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women and News Talk 710 KURV.
When we moved to Texas, we were like fish out of water. We didn't know anyone in our neighborhood until our Texas Farm Bureau insurance agent came to the house. She was so helpful and reassuring, a friendly face with that Texan hospitality I'd heard about. When we purchased a Texas Farm Bureau insurance policy, we knew we were making the right choice. We knew our family would be protected.
Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance today at tfbinsurance.com to find an insurance agent who's a true neighbor. Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance has protected fellow Texans with auto, home, health, and life insurance since 1952. With more than 260,000 square miles of land and 27 million people, that's a lot to cover. Whether you're wrangling cattle or wrangling kids, we're proud to protect Texans and all Texan ways of life.
Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance today at tfbinsurance.com to get insurance for Texans by Texans. Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
The Valley's destination for luxury automotive is here. Come to Mercedes-Benz of Harlingen and visit Michael Fall, General Manager, today and discover the perfect blend of elegance and power in a new GLC 300. Lease yours today for only just $499 a month for 24 months. Experience a feeling only 140 years of innovation can deliver. The choice is simple at the all-new Mercedes-Benz of Harlingen, a Port Ogden Auto Group dealership. A true triumph of luxury, now open at their exceptional new state-of-the-art location at 8522 West Expressway 83 in Harlingen.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams 4th of July sale and get 30% off paints and stains June 26th through July 6th. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
Information to start your day.
The Valley's Morning News.
News Talk 710 KURV.
It's the pulse of the 956. This is News Talk 710 KURV. Appreciate you joining us online. You can join us on your smartphone. Radio Para Mi is the free app. Go get it. We've got all our sister stations there, and we're right there. You can't miss us. We're the redheaded stepchild of the family. Only English News Talk station in all the company's radio stations. Radio Para Mi. AccuWeather says highs today should be up to 103. I'm Sergio Sanchez along with show producer Fred Cruz. News on 710 KURV, a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa accused United Healthcare CEO assassin Luigi Mangione back in federal court today in New York City.
His defense team pushed back on a report claiming a potential plea deal for his trial fell apart. His lawyer writing, quote, this information attributed to anonymous sources is part of a troubling, deliberate pattern by prosecutors and law enforcement to prejudice Luigi, manipulate public opinion, and violate his constitutional right to a fair trial.
Fox's Carly Shimkus, President Trump says Iran has requested a meeting Tuesday in Qatar.
The president obviously wants to see the peace process play out, and the Iranians would be best to sign a good deal with the United States of America because the president has proven he's unafraid to use the might of our military.
That is White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt minutes ago on Fox and Friends. America's listening to Fox News.
The New World screwworm is getting closer to the valley, and in the continued effort against the New World screwworm, ag officials are reminding everyone, especially here in South Texas, veterinarians, hunters, ranchers, even pet owners, again, the New World screwworm is a threat to warm-blooded animals. You need to check your animals routinely and inspect for any open wounds or unusual signs of infestation. If they have the New World screwworm, it's already burrowed into some open lesion, yeah, you'll smell it for sure. There's a new case of New World screwworm. It has been reported real close to the valley in Jibhog County. Meantime, Texas A&M researchers are going to be leading several new projects aimed at preventing the spread of the New World screwworm.
The USDA has selected Texas A&M AgriLife Research to lead 7 projects under its New World Screwworm Grand Challenge. The screwworm is a parasitic fly whose larva feeds on living tissue, posing a threat to livestock and other animals. The $105 million investment in research funding will focus on improving sterile insect programs, developing better detection methods, and creating new tools to help stop outbreaks before they spread. Researchers will also study ways to detect infestations earlier, improve surveillance on ranches and dairies, and develop new treatments. In addition to leading the 7 projects, Texas A&M AgriLife will contribute to 7 more.
It's 12 minutes to the hour on the Valley's Morning News. The Texas State Board of Education on Friday officially passed a revised reading list that includes some Bible passages. For the little ones in elementary school, they'll get some picture books, look at stories about David and Goliath and Noah's Ark. In later years, older students will have a chance to learn about more common Bible passages like the Ten Commandments and in other familiar Bible passages. Opponents of this idea say it violates the separation of church and state. The new reading materials will not be available until the year 2030. The U.S. and Iran have agreed to halt attacks for now following a weekend of escalating tensions in the Middle East.
The latest wave of chaos started with an Iranian drone strike on a ship traveling through the Strait of Hormuz, which led the U.S. military to carry out retaliatory attacks against Iran. Over the weekend, Iran targeted U.S. allies across the Persian Gulf and asserted control over the strait, the country's foreign minister warning that safe passage would only be guaranteed for vessels coordinating with its government. Word that the back-and-forth attacks would be paused for now comes ahead of a planned meeting on Tuesday between delegations from the U.S. and Iran and Qatar. Axios reported on Sunday that the talks had been relocated from Switzerland and would now focus on the Strait of Hormuz rather than Iran's broader nuclear ambitions. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
This is the Valley's Morning News. This is News Talk 710 KURV. We hope that you can find us on your smartphone. Go get the free app called Radio Para Mí. Now, that long to-do list that you have, and you're probably stressing about some of the items. I'm going to get this done, especially the ones where it involves taking care of family. Now, you got the kids taken care of. The Wakiles are okay, more than likely, right? But mom and dad, you love them so much, you want to honor them and protect them, you can. What I did years ago when my mom and dad were under my care, I'm an only son, and I was blessed that at some point my dad realized, I think I need to move closer to my boy so he can take care of business. And I appreciate all the family up in Houston that did their part in loving and taking care of him. But Deli and I were finally able to convince him, Dad, get your butt down here. We'll be able to take care. We could put a team together, and when we did with Healthcare Unlimited. Healthcare Unlimited, whether it's let's say your parent gets out of the hospital and needs some little medical care here and then, physical therapy, things like that. All those things can be figured out. The daily vitals that need to be taken, the blood sugar test, all those things. They can help with that if they can't do it. And Healthcare Unlimited can help with the daily bathing and cleaning up, manicure, the meal of the day, cook something, clean up the house. Healthcare Unlimited, they were a part of a team I was able to assemble to take care of my mom and dad. You are not alone. Stop stressing about mom and dad. You love them so much. You want them to be safe. They can be at their home where they want to be happy in their home, well taken care of. Part of the team could be Healthcare Unlimited. Call them today and get them over to mom and dad's house, 956-994-9911.
Looking for the biggest Independence Day celebration in the Valley? Join the city of McAllen on Saturday, July 4th for the 98th Annual Independence Day celebration presented by HEB to celebrate 250 years of freedom. The day begins with the Independence 4K run at Archer Park, followed by giant 4th of July floats in the Main Street Parade, games, rides, and family fun at the Freedom Festival. Honor our nation with a commemorative dedication rock ceremony and wreath laying, presented by the Daughters of the American Revolution at Archer Park as we celebrate 250 years of freedom. Then gather at Municipal Park at 5 p.m. for a Declaration of Independence reading, live bands featuring Desert Bloom and Vinyl Spin, and the Valley's most spectacular fireworks during Concert in the Sky at 9 p.m. Make memories, celebrate freedom, and experience a 4th of July tradition unlike any other right here in McAllen.